morning, everyone. We are going to have feedbacks or comments from the ToTs on how the training was or any feedback to the trainer. After that, we'll have the remarks from the trainer also on how the training was, what we should improve and what we should do while going to the market down. And then lastly, we have remarks from Chris, who is the project manager or the managing director of DBI. And then we can have our certificates and wrap up the session. So we are going to hear from two designated people, but then even the rest are going to give the feedback so far. So I want us to start with Toby to come and maybe give a little feedback on how the training was, anything we can improve on all of that moving forward.
My name is Toby Tumufund. I'm one of the training in this TOT trainer. We have started a lot in this training, but I'd like to talk about some of the topic we have studies on it. The first thing we have started in this training was the concept of e-commerce. We have started what is e-commerce and you have understand where the importance of e-commerce in SMEs.
I'm Yasin Tumurerwa, and I attend these DBI and GIZ trainings. So I'm going to give you a short about what we learned. Our facilitators has been helping us to know how to make a brand, how to brand your business, how to make a logo of your business, and also have been teaching us how to Google ads, how to make an advertisement. Has been also teaching us how to make a digital marketing.
In this training of e-commerce, we've learned how practically we can apply the online knowledge of marketing, selling, buying of services and products at the same time, but within the African context, which was a very good key. The Rwandan context of it and also Africa context of it, then to the globe. I would like to assure you that whatever you've taught us here today and also the other days that we've been here, we are going to use it practically and not theoretically, so that our time that we've invested here and also all other finances plus other logistics you've put in are put to use. I would like to assure you that everyone who is here is committed to working for the better of DBI, of GIZ, and also to develop the SMEs, which has been our main goal of attending these trainings.
Firstly, I would like to thank the organizers, GIZ, the facilitators. You know, this whole training time we've been here was very insightful. We learned more of how to build better e-commerce brands and how a person can assist SMEs in order to build their brands through content creation, through marketing, through creating their brands to make them more effective and to reach a larger target market. Yeah, that's basically been it, and I really do appreciate.
Thank you for your availability to do such a training. It took a long time, and we know that you have other responsibilities, other activities that are also important and urgent for you. But this training is very important. Like if you look at the strategies of the African countries on e-commerce, you can see that one of the key components is capacity building for small and medium enterprises to be able to be involved in e-commerce. And for that to happen, there's need for transfer of knowledge at the national levels on basically how e-commerce works, what are the tools, what are the approaches to it. So in the context of the East African community and Rwanda, this event is very critical, you know. So you guys are the ones that have the knowledge now to transfer to the SMEs. And as you know, when you are Mwarimu, it means you are the one the community is looking up to for knowledge. So which means you don't stop learning, you know, like all the tools you've seen, approaches, they're evolving all the time. So you have to keep up. So which means you have to be involved and keep that passion to teach and to give knowledge, to pass on the knowledge to the ecosystem.
Personally, I'm very encouraged. I think we started slowly on day one, a bit of challenges here and there, of course, just getting to know each other. But I'm really happy that we have finished strong. 11 of you actually getting your certificates, and I am actually confident that you're able to deliver the content that we've given you. First, I'm confident that you've understood it based on your performance from the assessment that we did. So I'm glad about that. And also, I was very encouraged in the last 2 days as you were delivering the content. So there could be challenges with maybe language, but we said we have to adopt as well. So I would just encourage you. I loved the boldness and the confidence. So I would encourage you to go out there and pass it in the best way that you know, right? If what you're comfortable with is Kinyarwanda and you are speaking to the local SMEs, speak to them in a way that they'll be able to understand. And then we have said simplify and make it as practical as possible, right? If it's French that you're comfortable with, pick it up and be able to pass on the knowledge. If it's English, for most of you who are confident with it, as long as you have understood the knowledge, you should be able to pass it on very confidently. So I am 100% sure that in terms of knowledge absorption, we've done excellently well, at least for this team that is here. They were committed. There are those who even reached out to me on the side and said, let's go through certain areas and to brush up. We've discussed, I think, doing more practicals because this is just our first session. I've trained for years myself, and like I told you, I still have to brush up because just as we were doing this training, for example, Twitter changed already to X, you know, and as we were looking at it, we were wondering, what is this new thing? That's how fast things change in this space, so you always have to keep yourself updated. But I've thoroughly enjoyed my time. I'd like to thank GIZ. Odo has taken very good care of Sharon and myself during this time. I think he's made sure there's meals throughout. We've overeaten, so that was a good component of the training. Thank you, Odo. Thank you so much. I'd like to personally thank Sharon as well. Sharon helps me when it's not easy to deliver training for 5 straight days, back to back for a full day. It can get tiring, and I think it's one thing that you're going to experience even as you go out there and as your trainer. So get help if you need to get that help. Get prepared, get a few hands here and there, especially when it's getting practical for the help. For DBI, I'd really like to thank you as well. And like Odo said, you bear the biggest responsibility here, if I can put it that way. A really big one, because it's needed. I was even telling the team, you might not really see what you've been empowered to do, maybe not very clearly now, but as you begin to engage with the SMEs, it's usually very transformational. Something as simple as just them learning how to use CapCut has quite a big bearing on most of these businesses. Something as simple as, I'm glad that you picked up on strategy. Just them knowing how to properly write their strategy down in a simple way that can be explained, it's usually very valuable. Something to do with like branding, what we learned. Any SME, and you will tell me that you're able to teach them in the way that we have learned, it's always very valuable. So please don't sit with the information that you have gotten. Please go out there. And on a personal note, when I got into this space 10 years ago, I didn't think it would evolve this much, right? So I'm glad that GIZ picked up the TOT model, because previously there's very few of us who identify as e-commerce trainers or e-commerce consultants. So at least now we have a bigger team that can go out there and be able to do the work, yeah? So that's all from my side. I am happy. And on a side note, I will be coming back for longer, beginning of September, so you'll see me on these trips a bit, so please reach out. I think all of you have my number. In support in any area, I am available. All right, thank you.
Good morning once again. I see the group has really increased from last time I was here, which is quite positive. So I would like to thank you guys, and maybe you can start by giving yourself a round of applause. So when we started this path, as you may know, you're like almost close to 100 or more than 100 iWorkers, right? So now you're like 11 in the room. What does that mean? It means that you're more committed, more hungrier than the rest of the group to join this program. And usually we have had this discussion with some of you regarding how, usually you're supposed to be facilitated to attend this kind of trainings. But I would like to say that the fact that we didn't have a budget for it in the first place, but the fact that you guys committed for 8 days, coming every day, it's really something that is really of value to us, because it shows that you're committed, you're willing to invest. I know it may have been hard for some of you or most of you, but I promise you that your commitment will not go in vain. So you heard Magnifique talking about taking a portrait. So as the training is called, is training of trainers. So meaning that you guys have the potential of being trainers. SMEs are looking for you. I don't know if Abigail mentioned about, I think Abigail's worked on the strategy, on the e-commerce strategy. So being in the hands of someone who worked on the e-commerce strategy that is now with Minicom, that is going to be adopted, puts you in a good position, because everything that is going to be implemented in the country is basically, something she worked on. So meaning that the knowledge you got is also like to address the gaps and what the SMEs are looking for. Back in 2019, when COVID started, nobody knew that, it was going to shift everything, the way we work, the way we think, and business have now moved to e-commerce, yeah? We have what we call African Continental Free Trade Area. What is going to happen on the continent? Sooner or later, all SMEs are going to be pushed to leverage on e-commerce tools, because I don't need to go and sell my product in Uganda and have open a branch in Uganda or in Kenya. I just need to sit here. I had someone giving a feedback about posting on social media, that on Monday, what to post on Monday can be different on what you post on Tuesday or Friday. This is a very good strategy. I also had someone talking about strategy. So your skills are going to be highly demanded, because every e-commerce, not even e-commerce, every business now is really thinking about how do I go digital. And you guys are the right people to support these SMEs to go digital, yeah? So when it comes to training, there is something, I think Abigail didn't have to show you her CV or her degrees for you to believe in her. You believe in her because she was bold, she was confident, so basically you like the character. So being a trainer, it's not about only the technical knowledge that you got from her. I believe there is also some soft skills that you learn from her. How she carries herself, how she speaks with confidence. So I would like also to encourage you also to take that path. If you want to train the SMEs going forward, you want the SMEs to trust you, right? You want your client to trust you. So DBI now has been put in place to help or to support the journey of digitization, not only to ICT companies, but also non-ICT. You are really in a good hands to receive the trainings from Abigail, and I promise you that we're also going to provide further training, yeah? Because, you get better with more trainings, you get sharp, you learn a thing or two, and going forward, definitely we'll try also to address some of the challenges that we encountered in this training. And lastly, I would like also to thank GIZ, our partners. We have embarked on this journey for now 2 years. This is basically one of the first activities we are doing together, but there is more to come, yeah? So I would like to thank Odo as well. He's been really supportive. He's been here since day one, as Magnifique was saying. I would like to thank Abigail and Sharon also for their commitment, for delivering this training. I would like also to thank my colleague, Magnifique. Thank you really for stepping in and helping it. And lastly, I would like to thank you guys and wish you luck. So, as I said, Matunda ikombere. Let's enjoy the journey, and then we become successful together, right? Thank you.